guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you are new. My name is Heather. I'm a homeschooling mom of 3 kids, elementary and high school age. Today I'm going to be doing a weekly homeschool plan with me. So let's get into it. Okay, so this is our 3rd week of homeschool for the 2024-2025 homeschool year. We are still in our slow start, meaning Emma is working on math and English, Jack is working on English, Japanese, and math, and Lucy is primarily doing science and math. We will continue this way for a couple more weeks, and then we will add in Lucy's language arts and Jack and Emma's government, economics, and personal finance courses, and then by the time we get to September, we will be in all of our subjects. It's been a really good start to the homeschool year. The kids have been really diligent, and I definitely appreciate that. So I do color code. If you've never seen any of my homeschool planning videos, each of my kids has a color. This is Emma's color, Jack, Lucy is the salmon color, and then this is our family color. I don't use all of these colors all of the time. I don't use the family color all of the time, but I do have columns for everybody. So the first thing that I will do is just put my kids' names up at the top. This is how I have been using the Erin Condren teacher planner since I first got one for 2015. I think may have been the first year that I used it. That was a really long time ago. I've mentioned this a couple of times recently. That was actually the first video that I shared on YouTube, was how I use an Erin Condren teacher planner as a homeschool planner. So my 2 high schoolers get 2 columns, and Lucy has 1 for the time being. We may end up bumping that up, but right now this last column is a family column. So anything that we do together, and typically what that means is for my older 2 kids, because I do and I have combined them on some things in the past, primarily history related resources, although there have definitely been years where everybody has their own stuff, but it will just depend if I'm doing a specific read aloud that I want everybody to do. So right now, this is just a notes column for me, which sometimes I need, sometimes I don't. If it happens that I need another column for Lucy, I will make this the family column, and I just will write notes over here if I need to. So we will see. The first thing that we do every Monday is a Monday meeting, and that is really a time where I just sit down and go through all of the work that I have planned for the week, things that the kids are going to be working on, anything that's going on outside of the house, if there are field trips, if there are sports practices, if there are just like fun things to do. I put all of that down for our Monday meeting. Wednesday is our passion project day, and I actually had somebody ask me recently about passion projects and what resources I use and how I figure out my kids' interests and stuff like that. I am hoping to do a video on that soon, but I really spend a lot of time chatting with my kids, thinking about their interests, talking to them about the things that they enjoy doing. I don't necessarily do this as much for elementary age as I do for middle and high school. For elementary age, it's more about strewing, where you're just exposing your kids to a lot of different things. If there's something that you are interested in, find some resources, set it out on your table in the morning, and you do that thing that you enjoy, and invite your child to also do it with you if they want. But don't make it, you don't want to force it, but just exposure to different ideas, different things that you may think they would enjoy or would just be fun to explore a little bit. That's kind of how you start. And then once they get older, they definitely have opinions once they get into those tween years, and you just start having conversations and ask questions and take notes and just be aware of what they're doing in their free time and see if there is something that they gravitate towards. So that's kind of what we do in a nutshell. My older 2 have definite interests that I work with and try to find resources for. It's a lot of research, but it's also a lot of fun. So Friday is our screen-free day. That just means We are trying to stay off of technology, including tech for homeschool, although we have not implemented that yet because my kids, typically when we start math, my older two use teaching textbooks, and so I try to have them just continue to do math pretty regularly until they get a good handle on things. Yes, so, but hopefully once we get to September, this will be a full screen-free day where we really just spend the day reading and doing more analog learning. It's a lot of fun. So this is not going to be a super full week because we are still in our slow start. The first thing that I'm going to do is just put down Emma's teaching textbooks. She was pretty adamant about not doing pre-calculus this year, but she is doing pre-calculus at the moment, and we are just trying to see if it's something that she will continue with. She's doing quite well, so I feel like if she can continue, that would be great because she is quite good at math, so I feel like it's something that she should continue with, but we will see. Okay, she's also doing Life of Fred statistics, and we are enjoying it so far. We've been doing it 2 days a week and working on a little bit extra each day. Let's see. Okay, so maybe 33 through 37. So Emma and Jack have been doing this In Your Own Words creative writing course as well, and Emma is enjoying it. Jack is making his way through it, which is kind of funny. He's a good writer, but he would prefer to do something different, which I understand. Emma has a paper due from last week, description paper. She's done with it. She just needs to go through it quickly and make sure that everything is correct and then email it to me. Last week she read Sir Gawain and the Green Knight, and the week before she read Beowulf and did a paper on that, so we're moving right along. This week she's supposed to be starting the Canterbury Tales. Okay, it doesn't look like she's reading this whole book. Okay, so she's not reading this entire book. And, you know, I just looked, and The Knight's Tale, it's so funny because this movie, The Knight's Tale, The Knight's Tale with Heath Ledger, I love that movie. When did it come out? In the late 90s maybe? And the author was in that movie, and I never made the connection. How terrible am I? All right. She doesn't read The Knight's Tale, but I kind of want to read The Knight's Tale and then watch the movie. So I might have her read this too. I have to read it first though. Okay, so I'm going to have her response paper due. I always make her papers due on Friday so that she's finished the writing, but then I do give her until Monday to actually turn it into me so that she can just finish writing the paper, but then take a little bit of a break from the actual writing over the week and revisit it, adjust anything that she wants to, and then turn it in. And she just emails it to me because she does it in Google Docs. So that is how we work that. Okay, then she also has her dailies, which are World Watch, narration, and this is just a little bit different than her book journal that she's keeping, and they just call it journal, but I call it book journal, Wordly Wise. So narration is kind of what she thinks of what she's reading or what stands out to her. The journal is more quotes and characters and themes. So I treat it more as a book journal, or if she has questions that she wants to explore, that kind of stuff. But narration is more, what did you get out of the book? Not keeping track of the quotes and stuff, but just what did you learn? And that's kind of what we do. And she doesn't always have to use her English for narration. Typically, once we are all in on the year, it's like history or those types of subjects that she's using, or any of the read alouds that I'm doing, or current events. That's kind of what her narration ends up being. So she does 4 days of World Watch. We don't do World Watch on Friday. It is screen free day. 4 days of narration, written narration. I'm going to put 5 days of journaling actually. and then 4 days of Wordly Wise. So typically on Wednesday, on their passion project day, I don't have them do narration or Wordly Wise, but she is going to continue journaling because she is still reading that day. So I just want to keep her in the habit of each little section of reading that she's doing. She is getting something down in her journal. Okay, so I think that is all for Emma this week. She's been doing great with all of her school. Emma and Jack have come to the decision that they're not going to do public school sports and they're going to be doing some other things. Jack wants to do tennis, so we're probably going to be back at that. So that is good. That helps me with my fall planning a little bit. So last week, Lucy decided that she was going to start teaching textbooks. She wanted to try teaching textbooks, so we started that and she is really enjoying it so far. So we're going to continue with teaching textbooks for the time being. I do still have the Singapore 4A and 4B. I absolutely love Singapore method, the Singapore method. We use Singapore Primary Math US edition. The only difference between the US and the Standards edition is US measurements, and they also add in like a money unit, I believe, for US edition. But it's primarily the measurements that are different, but the method is the same. So she is not as math inclined as Emma and Jack were, and that's totally okay. I love teaching textbooks. We've never really used it for this young of an age, but she is doing great so far, so we're going to continue with it and see how it goes. And I probably will include some Singapore math as well, but not as much, and I will just kind of revisit things as needed. But for the time being, she is asking to do teaching textbooks, so that's what we're going to go with. For her survival unit, we are starting week 2. I don't know if it's week 2. I think that she has it listed as one book per week, but I am doing one book for 2 weeks just to get enough and make sure that I'm getting all of the parts to this survival unit for Lucy. On Wednesdays and Fridays, it's usually a little bit of a lighter day for my kids. At this point in time, it's not all that different because they're not doing all of their subjects, but because we're trying to do this science intensive summer with Lucy, I am going to continue doing her science unit on Wednesday, and I would do it on Friday anyways because it's analog learning and it's not, it's not on the computer. But she just has so much less school to do being only in 4th grade than my high schoolers. So she still has plenty of time on Wednesday for her passion projects, which typically is just playing. That is what I encourage her to do. A lot of times she will do arts and crafts or she'll do a KiwiCo crate, but it's more, she just needs to focus on her school first thing in the morning, and then she has the rest of the day to play. Then she can choose whatever book she wants to read. Right now she is reading Wings of Fire, so she will continue to read a little bit each day. And then she has cursive that she has started. And that is all for Lucy right now. And then for Jack, he is doing geometry. I don't know what I'm doing, guys. I'm just writing the same thing over and over. All right, he is still reading 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, and he should finish that this week. He also has In Your Own Words, and then he has Japanese, lesson 2 all week. And Japanese is another thing that we try to do every day. He does about 2 weeks for each lesson, I think. That seems to work well for him, so we will continue that. And then his dailies are the same as Emma's, except he does not have the journaling. World Watch, Wordly Wise, which is vocab, and narration. And then I don't have anything for family. I will set up August calendars with the kids because they all have their planners, and so they need to set up August. Jack and Lucy have to actually date their August calendars, but Emma uses a life planner from Erin Condren, so she doesn't have to do that, but she has to write in all of her stuff for the month. And I did actually already do the kids' daily habit trackers for August, filled out when we're doing school, when everybody's going to be responsible for what they need to do. So that is good. And I will give those to them on this week. I'll give it to them on the Monday meeting and just kind of go over things with them as we transition into a new month. So here is the week at a glance. There's not a whole lot going on this week. It's supposed to be a beautiful week weather-wise, so hopefully we'll be able to get out and take advantage of the beautiful weather. That is my hope, at least. But this is our third week of the homeschool year. I can't believe we're already going into our third week. It seems like it's going quite quickly. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you have questions about anything that I talked about, please let me know in the comments, or you can email me. My contact form is always in the description box. And if you're looking for more help and encouragement around homeschooling, goals, planning, home management, all of that, I would love for you to come check out my membership community. That link is also in the description box. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks, guys. Bye.